Up to the voice. People may not even remember. I was a judge on Nashville Star one season. Thank you. Look at that. There's chairs. The chairs up there.
Chairs in the exhibit.
I did a show called, it was like a week-long mini-series or something called Classic Choirs. And when I did that, that's how I ended up meeting people from NBC and made a connection there. And I'm not sure, I've heard so many different versions and stories about how I ended up, getting that offer to be on The Voice. But I turned it down the first time or two that they came at me. And I don't know if I just flat out turned it down and just, I don't know, I don't know what to think about this. Reality TV, and that's dumb. And what is it? You hit buttons, and you hit a button like it's damn Family Feud, and everything about it is like, it's so dumb. And then what turned everything for me was they said Christina Aguilera just signed on. And I was like, okay, I've heard of her. She knows, what she's doing. Apparently, Little did I know, now that I know her, she doesn't know crap about it. Christina Aguilera, I hope she sees that. And then I didn't find out until later, who else was on there. I don't think I did. And then I heard of CeeLo Green, and then I went and found out, ended up loving his music. And then, of course, and then later, Adam. He's not coming out here. Anyway, so I'll never forget sitting in this first meeting, the very first meeting that I ever had with The Voice. It was if you're ever in Los Angeles and you go out to Universal Studios, there's this big tall building there that says NBC/Universal, Comcast, all this thing on it. The first meeting I ever had for the show, it was like out of a movie. It was like, oh my gosh, that's where we're going to go. Wow. And we went up to the very top of this building. There was a boardroom, and I was obviously on time. I'm the country singer, so I showed up on time. I walked in there, sit down, and said hi to all these people that I couldn't even imagine what they do. A lot of suits in there, and I sat down, and eventually CeeLo came in next. And it was just like this personality, this larger-than-life personality. He had sunglasses on. And he sat down, and I said hi to him, and then later Adam came in and sat down. And I was just like, who is this guy? It was just a skinny t-shirt, white t-shirt, like he dug out of the trash. Like, wow, this guy's popular. And then 30 minutes after the meeting started, Christina's boobs came through the door. I'll tell you something that people don't know that happened. So after we had the meeting that day, we were supposed to, there was on our schedules, because we had all signed on to be on the show, and it's like we were about to start making the show. And there's this dinner on our schedules that night. It was going to be all the coaches and Mark Burnett, who's the producer of the show, and then like whoever our +1 was going to be or whatever. Our manager, it wasn't +1, it was like our managers or something like that. There was like 10 people. And so I get to the dinner on time, again, the first one there, I was by myself. And next came CeeLo, and then next came Adam. And we're sitting there, and the lady came, we're sitting at the bar, we're talking, and I remember CeeLo, what I remember about it, CeeLo was really concerned because the very first song we were ever going to sing, is like the four of us as a group, was Crazy, which was his song. He was like, man, I feel weird, it's my song. I just remember us talking about that. And then finally the lady came over and said, y'all want to have a seat at your table? And so we went and sat down, and there was only one other seat. There was 4 seats at our table. And we were like, well, I think we need a bigger table. And she said, no, that's what we have is you, and Christina Aguilera is supposed to be there. And so that Mark Burnett set us up to force us to all go out and hang out together that night to get to know each other, and it was the coolest thing he could have done, because Christina came rolling in. Of course, she was all pissed off. She was like, "Where's Mark? You know, who's doing this? You know?" And so she finally sat down, and we all started, you know, adding up, you know, piling on Mark Burnett's credit card and champagne and wine and everything that night, and we instantly, all became friends from there on out, and still are now, you know, with even C-Lo now, even though he's on the show. The kind of bond that I can make fun of. Her boobs and Adam's shirt and stuff.
So, anyway, we've got about 10 minutes or so to kind of go on, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. One of the fan questions was from Art of Shelton. What is your favorite song on If I'm Honest, and why?
I mean, that album is to me, you know, I don't ever want to go through what I went through to make that album again, at least the first half of it. But man, you know, looking at the product of what we were able to come up with musically, it got me going again as a writer, and you know, I'm so proud of something positive came out of the mess, you know. And not just the music, even, you know, my personal relationship that I have. You know, it's everything okay at the time, though it just doesn't seem like it's going to be, you know, at first, you know. And so to end up being able to make what I feel like is my best record that I've made. I mean, everybody says that, and you have to say that, you know, but I feel that way about this particular record, because every single word, everything about it is where I can, if I had each one of you guys in a room, I could go, here's why I said that. Yep. Here's why I said that. Here's why that's in there. And I've never had a record where every single song is that way. Say what?
You can't make this up.
That's right.
Amen.
You say tell you a story?
We always been through that story.
You know, the thing that I tried to accomplish with the record was one thing. I wanted it to feel like a timeline, to where, you know, the very first song, you know, I can't always, you know, sit through everything that I can read about myself, because most of the time it's like, you know, oh my God, like, what are they even talking about, you know? So, but some of the stuff that I've read about, you know, my record is like, the first song is called Straight Out of Cold Beer, and it's like, you know, I thought he was going to, you know, have this odd, you know, honest album, and it's just more of the crap that he's done before that sucked, you know. Well, actually, the reason that that's the first song on the record is I wanted to feel like, you know, this is a continuation from my last record. And if you listen closely to the end of Straight Out of Cold Beer, right before it goes into She's Got Away with Words, which is going to be my next single, you'll hear it, and it's so cool. I didn't plan it this way, but Scott did this. You'll hear it. It sounds like the bottom just drops out of that song. It just kind of, the tape slows down, and that's kind of how I felt, you know. Just, I felt like this rug got yanked out from under me, and so it starts with that. The second song on the record is really where it starts the journey of, you know, what ended up being the last, you know, 14 months of my life, you know, going to the rock bottom to the highest peak yet, you know, and ended up ending with Savior's Shadow, you know, because that song was, I still can't explain how that thing came to me, just in a dream, you know, just dreamed the song and got up and wrote it down, and ended up with this piece of music that, you know, really proud of.
That's already your first gospel song, I believe.
First gospel song, probably my last gospel song. It's so funny, I told Warner Brothers, I said, man, you know, I feel like I need to do some kind of support for this song. I mean, I feel like I have a responsibility. I have this platform, and I feel like I was sent this song by God, and I need to do something with it, you know. And so we shipped it out to, you know, gospel and Christian radio stations, and I did some interviews with them, and you talk about some uncomfortable interviews, because it's like, you know, somebody gets on, and most of them, they're so nice, and they're so good at what they do, but it's like, And next we have, we're going to be talking to Blake Shelton on whatever the radio station is, you know. And you can tell they're going, what are you doing? And so I always had to make it clear, like, look, I know y'all aren't going to play me on your station, but I at least want to tell you why I put this song out there, and then I sent it to your station, you know, because I'm not going to make a gospel record ever that I can imagine, you know. That's not what I'm not trying to be. I'm not just trying to cash in on this thing. I want you to know why I recorded it and why we sent it to you, because I feel like I have a responsibility when I dream a song like this. Like, there's got to be a reason for it, you know, and I need to use my platform to get that message out there, you know.
Good for you.
And needless to say, they haven't played this.
Oh, yeah. You know, before we were having you play a song from the new album to close things, but beforehand, I just want to thank you, thank Norval and Brandon Blackstock, your team, Birthday
Oh,
Myers.
those guys?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Nobody ever mentions those guys.
West Boss, they've been so great to work with through all this. It's so cooperative. And you too.
We'll fire on that.
And we just appreciate you. I know how busy you are. For you to take time to come in and do this with us.
We would have made like $5, you know. People were like, you could serve drinks at this thing, or oh, thank you, man. You leaving?
I'm about to.
All right, well, I guess since I was talking about this song, I guess I could end with this one. This is a song on that's the new single that I was talking about. It's on this If I'm Honest record, and
All right.
all right.
Good girl.
And I don't know how many of you, I guess it doesn't matter, have heard the album at all, but it's such bullcrap. But I believe
Your
it. Thank
CD
you.
is stuck in his CD player. It won't come out.
All I hear is you, baby, and I love you.
I
Every
love you too,
single
sir.
CD.
I love his laugh. Okay, so this is one of those songs that, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, you know, what this song is about. So I never really do an introduction. This is very new for me to sing. So please be patient with me, and if you know it, sing along. It might actually help. When you put two and two together, you figure out love's got 4 letters. I should have known that when I met her, but she had to spell it out for me. After all that second guessing, it's been a long, hard history lesson. Hell, that's a class I got an F in, but now I understand perfectly. She put the heart in hurt, she put the Y in try, she put the S-O-B in sober, she put the hang in hangover, she put the X in sex, she put the law in blood, she put a big F-U in my future. Yeah, she's got a way with words. Little words like I do, lie, cheat, screw. Yeah, all the words I thought I knew, they got a brand new meaning now. She put the hurt in hurt, she put the Y in try, she put the S-O-B in sober, she put the hang in hangover, she put the X in sex, she put the low in blow, she put a big F-U in my future. Yeah, she's got a way with words. Yeah, she's got a way with words. She put the heart in try. She put the S-O-B in sober. She put the hangover. She put the X in sex. She put the low in blow. She put a big F-U in my future. She's got a way, she's got